it is.
All right, well, good evening, guys. Again, thank you for coming out tonight. What I want to do, if you have not noticed, we leave in 15 days on the band trip. And I'm going to tell you, this is an easy trip compared to that 11-day haul that we did last year to Washington, New York City. This one easy. We stay at one hotel. We go down there. It's only 6.5 hours on the bus, not 23 one way. And so a great trip, though, coming up on March the 20th. As you came in tonight, you should have received a packet with general information on the first page, front and back. Then the next page should say what to bring, as a little packing list. And then on the back is the current itinerary as of yesterday when I sent it to Miss Tina to be copied. So make sure you got one of those. If you need an extra one or whatever when you leave, that's fine tonight. There should be plenty of extras. But what I want to do, guys, I'm not going to read this packet to you, but I want to go over some of the high points to make sure we're all on the same page. Communication is so important in an organization our size. And I want to make sure that as we go on this trip that all the questions are answered before we ever leave so that we don't have any issues on the trip. But if you'll notice in the packet, you see we're going to leave it March the 20th at 6 a.m. in the morning. We're going to meet at 6, start loading up on the 3 charter buses, and leave out as soon after 6 as we can. We'll be gone Wednesday, Thursday, Friday of spring break, and then Saturday and Sunday. We will miss one day of school, Monday, March the 25th. We will get back in probably around 11 o'clock that night. The students will be excused as a school function. We have already received school board permission for this trip. There is an educational merit to it, besides seeing Mickey Mouse and Goofy and Donald Duck and all those folks. We will be doing a workshop down there, as I'll talk about a little bit later, with the Disney musicians. So we are missing one day of school. That will be a school function. You can see in the next part there, the personnel. Right now we have 142 people attending the trip. A great adult to student ratio yet again. I'm always amazed at this. 95 students are going, 7 staff, 35 chaperones. That's 42 adults and 95 kids, in case you hadn't figured that out. About a 1-to-2 ratio. One doctor, Dr. Dennis Mayu, who usually always goes on all the trips. He'll go with us to provide medical assistance. And then we've got 4 children, one of mine and several others that are going along as well on this trip. Our transportation will be on charter buses. The same company we used last year, Gulf Coast Tours out of Mobile. They are very nice buses. All the buses are 2008 or greater. Matter of fact, the buses, the ones we were on last year were 2011 or newer. So we'll be taking those 3 Gulf Coast Tours buses. They're 55 passenger buses. Of course, they are restroom equipped. They have DVD players on them. Now, we're only going to be on the bus about 13 hours total. Okay, but students are allowed to bring movies. They need to be G or PG rated. No PG-13, no R, no X, no NRs or anything like that. Okay, but G or PG. And all I ask is if you bring movies is that you put your name on the case and the disc. And I've got a great supply of movies from 19 years here at Milton High School. Okay, we're folks that don't put names, but on the disc itself and on the case, if you'll make sure, if you bring those movies, you'll check those in at the front of the bus when you get on the bus and with the chaperones in the front. Again, there are restrooms on board. Remember, what goes in the restroom stays in the restroom. Goes in that little blue stuff down at the bottom. Okay? And so what we'll be doing along the route, usually we'll go about halfway between here and close to Tallahassee, or maybe all the way to Tallahassee. We will stop the buses, not only for students and adults to use the restroom, but also to get off the bus and stretch a little bit. So we'll probably make 2 stops between here in Orlando, one somewhere around Tallahassee, and then we'll be stopping at the mall in Gainesville. So, you know, the restrooms are there. Please use them if it's an emergency. I don't want anybody sitting on the bus doing one of these, okay? But, again, we will be making restroom stops. As I shared with you, about 6.5 hours for us to get there, minus the stops. On the buses, these are our homes for about 5 days, besides the hotel. Please make sure, students and parents, that we keep them clean, okay? It's extremely important. We will have garbage bags on there. If something spills, we'll have paper towels on there. Get it up quickly, quickly, quickly. Now, I say that because you're welcome to bring snacks, you're welcome to bring sodas, but the sodas, hello, John. The sodas must be in bottles, okay? I know what's going to happen. That Wednesday morning, you're going to run through Whataburger about 5:40. You're going to grab some breakfast. You're going to have that cup, and they're going to walk up the bus, and the driver's going to go, you can't have that on the bus. Okay? They don't allow cups on the bus. We don't allow cans on the bus. If you've ever been on these trips, you know why. They set it down the floor, bus slams on brakes, hits a bump, drink falls over, we got Coke all over the floor, and then we pull our feet that are stuck to the floor the rest of the trip. So bottled drinks only. Everybody follow me on that. No Whataburger cups. We stop at the mall. Don't bring those cups back on. That is a Gulf Coast Tours rule. Okay, so help us out with that. Snacks, of course, they're welcome to bring along with them, not only for the bus and drinks, but for the room as well. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Pillows and blankets. My objective is I want folks comfortable on the bus, but we're not going to get it hot on the bus, because when I get hot, I take off clothes. When I take off clothes, it ain't pretty. Okay, so pillows and blankets are fine. They don't really need to be shared. I don't need a boy and a girl under a blanket or anything like that. Okay, which will lead me to my next topic. But, you know, longer trips, we were sleeping. We went to New York. We were all over the floors. They were up in the rafters, wherever they could find it. 6.5 hour trip, they can sit in the seat. They can put a pillow between them or something and lean against it if they're going to sleep. And I'll probably try to sleep on the way down, because it's going to be real early, us leaving at 6 for most of us, okay? But pillows and blankets are allowed. They can bring the MP3 players, the iPods, the video games, that kind of stuff, but they must have earphones. None of the chaperones, we don't need to hear doodle 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 doodle, or music blasting from the back of the bus or anything like that. Just remember, if you bring that stuff on the bus and with you, you're responsible for it. Okay? Nothing worse than somebody stole my iPod. Okay? You're responsible for it. Where'd you leave it? Right outside the bus in the parking lot. Okay, or whatever. So just make sure that you understand that. Again, PDA, public display of affection. Our students monitor themselves as far as bus captains, so forth, if we have issues. When you're in a bus, you know, PDA rule at school is you can hold hands. PDA rule with me is you can hold hands. My other little, if you're leaving down the parking lot, you give a friendly hug. That's one thing. If you're all over each other, no. None of this in the bus seats where we're sleeping and we're wrapped around and we're pretzel. None of that. Pillow between you, laid up against each other. Probably not going to say anything as long as skin's not touching. You with me, except for the hand. Everybody follow me on that. Boys and girls, do we follow me on that? Okay? Hand holding, okay? Don't need none of this hey babe stuff or any of that, okay? So, again, and the guys, I use this script every year for every trip, and last year's trip was a totally different beast on the bus, 6.5 hours. But again, be respectful to those around you. If they're sleeping, don't be sticking your stinky socks up in their face. Any of that stuff. Don't treat others the way that you want to be treated. So, and I say that because I want that all up front, because I've done this for 21 years, and I've had just about every situation I think that can occur on a trip. Okay, but if you will, just be respectful of the folks around you. Treat them the way you want to be treated. Seating assignments, just so you know, there are 3 charter buses. Today we put the slips out, and this is more so for parents. We announced it to classes. But students fill out a slip as far as what bus they request. Of the 3, I told them we do all that by seniority. If 65 kids request bus 2, we can't put 65 kids on a 55 passenger bus. We got to have room for adults too. So we take the underclassmen, the freshmen, and we start pulling them and shifting them on other buses. They request what bus they want to be on. They request who they want to sit with. Okay? And both parties need to fill that out. I don't want some boy going, I really want to sit with that girl, so I'm just going to sign this up. Okay? So both people sign up the slips. We staple those together, and then I will pass those out to the bus captain. Again, they put on that slip who they want to sit around. We try to place them with their friends. Sometimes that's not possible, because, you know, all the freshmen, I want to be with these seniors, and all the seniors are on the bus by themselves, or whatever. But we do the best we can to get them placed on the buses that they need to be in. So that's important. But understand this, students, if there's an issue, okay, with PDA, with just issues on the buses, we have the right to move you to whatever buses we feel is necessary, or to put you in the seat with me or another adult or wherever, okay? Remember that it's a right to choose your seat and sit, where you want to. Okay? Any questions about the buses? Good bus company. Moving on, hotel accommodations. We are staying at the Quality Inn International. This will be my 6th time staying there with the group, and I think I've stayed there 2 or 3 other times personally when I go down. It is simply that. It's a big touristy hotel there. Has a towers area that they'll put us in. There's probably 400 or more rooms at this hotel. Has a game room, has a restaurant. They've got pools. We won't have time to swim. We're going to go to bigger pools, trust me. Okay? But the information is right there, parents. Students tend to stay 4. We try to put them 4 to a room. There will be a situation where there may be 3 in a room. Adults, we usually put 2 per room, so they each have their own bed. Well, that's where we'll be staying. A couple of things at the hotel. Be respectful of the other guests as we get there. Some nights we're going to be getting back in really late, okay? And sometimes you've got guests that you can tiptoe. And I remember one year we took the band, we left out on a Wednesday afternoon, we pulled in about 11 o'clock. I thought the kids were great. They were, you'd hear them rolling their luggage and they were going in stealth mode, going in. And then somebody complained. That's going to happen, okay? Matter of fact, they complained about the room beating on the wall next door. I went to the room that was my mom's room. And the little old man and I liked to got in a fist fight, but she called my mom a liar. But anyway, okay. But when we get back, some of you guys, old folks, may remember that. When we get to the hotels at night, be respectful of the other guests. We will have curfews. Once we get back to the hotel, it's going to be late. We'll usually give them about 15 to 20 minutes to get ice, to get drinks, and so forth. And then curfew starts. What happens at curfew? The room captains, or not room captains, I'm sorry, leadership will meet with me. We'll gather them up. We'll have a leadership meeting. They will be assigned different rooms. They go to the rooms, they check. They give them the announcements for the next day. They make sure everybody's in the room. The door closes. The door does not open again unless there's a fire or an emergency. The door does not open again until whatever the curfew ends. And we always tell them, you know, you can come out of your room starting at 6:15, 6:30 tomorrow morning. Okay? Do not open your door for any reason unless it is a staff member or a Milton High School chaperone who has identified themselves. And we have never had an issue with this before, but I don't want somebody coming up to your room, knocking on the door, and you're like, yeah, and you don't know this person, okay? That's not cool. If it's a chaperone or staff member, we'll knock. I'll say, open up, it's Mr. Weaver. Look out the curtain, make sure it's me, look out the little hole. But it's just about safety. Never had an issue, don't plan to ever have an issue. Okay, you're in your room, you'll bed down when you get in there. Also, when we're at the hotel, that 15 or 20 minutes, or we may have a little spare time, boys do not go into girls' rooms, girls do not go into boys' rooms. You want to get in trouble, you want to sleep on the floor of Mr. Schultz's room, boys, or one of the female chaperones' girls, okay, what I call chaperone arrest, go into the room of a member of the opposite sex. Guys, if you've got to go into that room, that she's got your iPod or something, knock on the door. Hey, give me my iPod back. Take about 2 steps backwards, okay? All it takes is one boy walking into a girl's room, grabbing an iPod, walking back out, somebody sees that, and there go the rumors, okay? You with me? Everybody understand? Boys, you don't cross that threshold. Girls, you don't cross that threshold either, okay? Stay out of those rooms. Any questions about that? We will have some free time at the hotel. Again, make sure, and this is a good traveling group, make sure we act civilized. In your hotel room, there is a mini fridge. There is a microwave in all the hotel rooms. So you'll want to bring microwave popcorn, that, you know, that kind of stuff for late at night, okay? So feel free to bring that. You're not required to. Now, I love softball, by the way. Nothing like rehearsing the band and having the groove going. Yes, ma'am?
Is there a coffee pot in the room? And if not,
I think there is. If not, you get it at breakfast, okay? So, listen up. Listen up, guys. And extremely important because the one incident, this happened at the hotel, damaged hotel property. Now, guys, I know what goes on in hotel rooms. I've been a band student. I've been a band director, okay? Any damage to a hotel room is divided up amongst the people of that hotel room, okay? I know sometimes wrestling matches go on. There was a hole knocked in the wall at this hotel my first time about 15 years ago, 14 years ago, okay? You'd be surprised, it was right under the toilet. One was in the bathroom in socks, the other was pushing, foot slipped, went right through the wall under the toilet. We do room inspections at the end. A lot of times with hotel management, they said there's a hole in the wall. The boy said, oh, that was there and we checked in. Hotel management said, no, it wasn't, okay? One was a drum major, okay? Come to find out, they finally, you know, we grilled them. Yes, sir, we were goofing around and put a hole in the wall. I think that hole in the wall cost like $200 and something to have fixed. And those 2 young men had to pay for it. So be careful with that kind of stuff, okay? Be careful. If you get to your room and something is broken, come find me and Mr. Schultz and report it so we can report it. Mr. Weaver, our lamp doesn't have a shade, okay? Come let me know, all right? You with me? The rooms were just recently renovated. Haas Middle School Band stayed there last spring. They're nice rooms, okay? So understand that. At checkout, please make sure, guys, what will happen when we get ready to check out on Monday morning is we will assign chaperones to go check different rooms. When they go in, please make sure stuff's kind of picked up. You know, I go into some rooms, it looks like a tornado hit it. I mean, there's trash just torn apart and all over the place. Make sure the rooms are somewhat picked up so we can find your stuff, because most of the time, things are left at the hotel that students just miss. And I say that, and I say it kind of tongue-in-cheek. I did say that one year when little freshman boys' room, they had made the beds and all that. You don't have to go that far, okay? But Just make sure the trash is piled up around the trash can. Okay, blankets and sheets are on the bed, not like laying in the floor over by the bathroom or something like that, so we can check through there. Okay? Any questions about hotel? Any questions? Sign up list. Today was the deadline for them to get signed up. They're right up here. Adults, if you're going with a spouse, I hate to tell you, but you got a room with them. Mr. Cooey's here. Mr. Cooey, Miss Cooey's aren't here? Okay. Mr. Cooey always complains about that every year. But other adults, if you want to see me afterward, there's just a handful of you guys. We sort of match folks up with who wants to room with who and so forth. If you'll see me before you leave tonight. Moving on, the attractions. The coolest part of this trip is what all we're going to get to see. Now, I'm going to tell you, we're going to be going just as hard as we can go for 5 days. Okay? The attractions, let me just kind of tell you this. What we're going to do is each day is we're going to travel to our designated park, whatever that is for the day. Students are to stay in that park unless, and I really just kind of recommend they stay in the park, but unless if they can get a chaperone and a group of them, usually a couple of chaperones, and they want to park hop to a different park for a while, I'm okay with that. But that chaperone or two is going to be responsible for making sure they get over there and get back. I don't need a chaperone taking, we're at Epcot, and the chaperone takes them to Magic Kingdom, okay, and then leaves them there and so forth. You need to stay in that park with them and kind of be responsible for it. Does everybody follow me on that? So they are park hoppers, but again, they've got to be with an adult. We will meet at the designated location. For example, the day we started at Epcot, we will end at Epcot. I don't need somebody park hopping and calling and go, hey, we're at the Magic Kingdom. Y'all come pick us up. Okay? You get over there, you got to get back. And of course, Disney has an outstanding free transportation system and so forth. But my recommendation is pretty much if we go to that park that day, enjoy that park. You're going to have plenty of time at the other ones, I promise. If they have emergencies, they get sick, they'll report to the first aid station. What we always do when we go to a theme park is we go to that first aid station, we check in our medical book, we check in our medical kit, and Dr. Mayu and myself and Ms. Byers, we'll leave our phone numbers. Mr. Schultz will leave our phone numbers with them. And if there's an emergency, they go to the first aid station. Our phone numbers are there. Most of the kids have our phone numbers anyway. But they go to the first aid station. First aid station will notify us, hey, little Susie's here. She's throwing up. She shouldn't have rode Space Mountain. And one of us will communicate. We'll get there. Sit with little Susie. I have never had a student where we had to sit all day at a theme park in the first aid with them. Usually as soon as they can get well, man, they're gone again. Okay? But that's how we handle that. Of course, with the use of cell phones, all that nowadays, like I said, the kids have our numbers, and they'll be able to get up with us as well. The attractions, just so you sort of know what we're doing, we're going to be doing Downtown Disney twice. Downtown Disney is great for shopping and for eating. We're going to be doing both, of course, Animal Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, both on Thursday. We'll be meeting together, moving together. On Friday, we'll be doing Blizzard Beach and Disney Quest. Okay, on Saturday, we'll be doing Epcot all day. Now, I'm talking about the park hoppers. Epcot is one of those parks where if you go out the back gate out by Canada, over off to the side, there's a boat that takes you straight to Hollywood Studios. We are going to allow them to park hop that day because we're going to be in Epcot for a long time. If they want to go back to Hollywood Studios, because the boat takes you straight to the other gate. But they'll have to do it in groups of 3 or more. Okay, but again, it's jump on the boat. The boat stops at the boardwalk, I think, and at one of the other hotel things, and then it heads straight on the front gate. So we'll be doing Epcot on Saturday. Sunday is the Magic Kingdom. Monday we check out Typhoon Lagoon. Let me just say this: the 2 days we're going to water parks. The Friday we're going to Blizzard Beach. We are going to be leaving Blizzard Beach and going straight to Downtown Disney for Disney Quest. Okay? Students are going to need to make sure they got a towel. They're going to need to make sure they got to change clothes. There's showers and changing rooms and all that at both of the water parks. Same thing on Monday when we go to Typhoon Lagoon. We're going to be changing, getting on the buses and coming straight back to Milton, Florida. So students, make sure you got a towel. I'd bring a little bag or something and make sure that, that you got to change your clothes. Soap and stuff if they want to shower. Well, I hope they bring that for the whole trip. But so did you find all the lockers? Okay. I'm thinking, and I recommend renting lockers with friends. If I remember right, the last time I was at Typhoon Lagoon, it was $10 to rent the locker and $5 you got back when you turned the key back into it. Okay, so you'll want to think about that. The tickets. Now, guys, I learned the hard way the last time we did this with Disney. Okay, we're getting the tickets in. We're going to sign their tickets. Their tickets have numbers. It's important, though, that they hold on to them. The last time we took this trip, we went through Disney and we had the multiple day pass thing. You know, the second day of the trip, about 4 of them, I can't find my ticket. And I didn't know they were numbered or anything. We had to sit everybody down on the bus and get all the ticket numbers lined up and figure out what ticket numbers we were missing. But it's important that they hold on to their ticket. Miss Weaver has organized, we're going to have lanyards, say black lanyards with gold writes, say Milton HS Band. And we've got these little pouches, these little zip-up pouches for them to put their tickets in. These tickets get them in all the theme parks and all the extra stuff, water parks and Disney Quest. So it's important we don't lose the tickets. If they lose them, we will have a record with their number on it, but it's going to probably eat up about an hour of their time out of the park as we have to go to customer service, stand in line, and then wait to get up there and have their other ticket voided out and get a new ticket assigned to them, okay? So extremely important that we hold on to our tickets. Behavior in the parks, guys, Disney is serious. You hear me? Disney is serious. Disney will wrap you up in a heartbeat. That's ask Mr. Cooey. Okay, for leaving a bag unattended. It was innocent. Okay? We've never had a problem at Disney. I have heard of other bands talking about students that shoplift. You know what? When you're at Disney, you are always being watched. There are cameras everywhere. Probably one of the safest places in the state of Florida. Okay? Disney has a jail. I've heard other bands talk about students that went to Disney jail. I don't know what kind of music plays there or anything. Okay? But, and I say that jokingly. Okay? You guys always do a great job. Don't do anything stupid to get in trouble. Okay? You want to ruin a trip and make me really mad at you? Have somebody call me and tell me I got to go bail you out of Disney jail. Okay? So, not cool. All right, so I'm just telling you that. There was a few years ago, there was a game that teens were playing and all this kind of stuff. I hope that's gone away. All right, but make sure you're on good behavior. Don't run through the parks. Okay, don't run little kids over or anything like that. Just good behavior when we're in the parks. Any questions about the attractions thus far? Moving on, let's talk about meals. We are providing, except for the first day, 2 hot meals per day on this trip. Every morning there is a breakfast buffet. One reason I like staying in this hotel is because there's a restaurant. It's you go there, they seat you at the table, they take your order or your drink order, and then you go up to the buffet. It's not one of those little sunrise breakfast kind of things. It's a full-fledged buffet with bacon and sausage and grits and scrambled eggs and hash browns and pancakes and the works. Okay, please eat breakfast. I know a lot of our kids don't eat breakfast in the mornings. Guys, we're paying $6.50 per person per day if you eat breakfast. If you go, well, I just don't eat breakfast. Man, eat breakfast. Okay? Let's get our money's worth. Because you eat breakfast at the hotel, you may not need a real big lunch. Okay? So you can save some money right there. There'll be a hot breakfast buffet each morning at the hotel. As well, when we get to the theme parks, on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're not doing it the last day, but on 4 of those days, that day we're going to hand them a meal voucher. Okay, we paid $15 a piece for these meal vouchers. It's a certificate of paper. On the back, it'll tell you whatever park it'll tell you the different parks and the different restaurants that honor that. That meal voucher, you can walk up to any of the counters, and you may have a cheeseburger meal with cheeseburger, fries, a drink, and dessert, and you redeem that voucher. It could be pizza, salad, drink, and dessert. It could be a turkey leg and whatever comes with a turkey leg, chips, I guess. Okay? But they can redeem that for their main meal that day. All right? The voucher will stay on the back. Not everything on the voucher is, or not every restaurant honors those, but it'll have a list on the back. Again, you walk up, those meals will cost anywhere, and I think I put 13 to 15 in here, and I got the theme out today. We save money on the voucher, so it may be $15 to $18 per meal if you ever eat at Disney. It's good, it's a lot of food, but it's expensive. Also, I told you we're not getting a coupon the last day on Monday of the trip. We're going to stop at CC's Pizza in Gainesville. So they have a pizza buffet on the way home. Okay, so that day they'll eat breakfast at the hotel, grab a little lunch or whatever at Typhoon Lagoon, and then we will eat lunch or eat dinner on the way home and route back. What they will need, money-wise, I think I posted that on here for you. On Wednesday, we'll stop at the Oaks Mall in Gainesville, and they will eat at the food courts, just a food court meal, like you see at any regular food court. And then that night, we'll go to Downtown Disney after our performance workshop. Downtown Disney, that night that we eat there and the other nights we eat there, guys, there's everything from McDonald's to Wolfgang Puck's, Rainforest Cafe, Planet Hollywood, T-Rex. There's an Irish pub You can do fast food, you can do window stuff, or they can go sit down at a restaurant and eat. I don't know why they put that speaker on the side of our building. So, got Wednesday, Oaks Mall, dinner at Downtown Disney. Again, they could do McDonald's. There's a McDonald's there, okay? Or they could do a full meal. Thursday, they'll need either a meal or a snack at Animal Kingdom or Hollywood Studios. We're going to split our day that day. Now, I say a snack because, again, breakfast buffet, then they've got a meal voucher. About 1 or 2 o'clock, they may get by on popcorn and a drink or something, okay? Or if they're like Gray Weaver, they'll buy an $18 meal because they like to eat, okay? So Thursday, they'll need to buy 1 meal. Friday, they'll need to buy 1 meal either at Blizzard Beach or Downtown Disney. The vouchers work at Downtown Disney at about 3 or 4 restaurants as well as Downtown Disney. Yes, ma'am? Did they really? We stayed right across from there. Okay. Okay. All right. We were walking. I didn't pay attention. We were down there at Christmas. So there's not a McDonald's, but there are some window type stuff where you can go up and get some fast food type stuff, sandwiches and so forth. Friday. Again, 1 meal either at Blizzard Beach, Downtown Disney. Saturday, 1 meal at Epcot. Sunday, 1 meal or snack at Magic Kingdom, and then probably lunch or a snack at Typhoon Lagoon on Monday. So I think I've written in there, I don't see it right here on the bat, it sort of has a breakdown for you, a total of 7 meals that they'll need to purchase. I put the average for most theme park meals is around $12 to $15. That's actually probably $15 to $18 after I thought about that today. I'd recommend bringing money for snacks, refreshments, souvenirs. It'll probably be in the 80s when we're down there, so it could get a little warm, so they'll want to stay hydrated and so forth. I put on there a good guesstimation of how much money to bring for meals, probably $90 to $100, or it may be less. That's what Gray Weaver would do. Okay. At the restaurants, please be patient. There's going to be a couple of times we stop, like the CC's. Be patient when we go to CC's. Be kind. Be clean. Eat what you get. We don't need no pizza mountains built in the center of the table or anything gross like that. Okay. Also, if you can see on the itinerary what parts are going to be at, adults and students, if you want to book reservations at some of these restaurants that are there, like for example the Be Our Guest or whatever it is, okay, or Rainforest Cafe, Animal Kingdom, or something like that, or at Downtown Disney, you might want to go onto the Disney's website, DisneyWorld.com. You may want to go on there and make your reservations. A lot of those restaurants take reservations, okay? So your vouchers and those ones that take reservations, your vouchers will not work, so you'll have to pay for that meal. Does everybody follow me on that? So, but you may want to go ahead and do that. Any questions about the meals? None? Moving on, performance. We're going to do something we did last time. Last time we went, we did a parade in the Magic Kingdom, and I'll tell you, it ain't worth it. To be honest with you, it was a jog. I couldn't even keep up with the band. I kept having to find shortcuts to get through to keep up with them because they're like, go! And they got to keep up with Disney folks. We had to do a parade application. We had to go out here in November, march around the track in uniform playing the Disney music we're going to play and all that for us to have to give time out of the park and go do that. What we did do last time is extremely educational. That fits in with us having concert MPA this week and then having 5 days of school before we leave, is we're going to do a Your Instrumental workshop. What's going to happen on Wednesday night when we get into town, we're going to check in the hotel. We're going to go to the back lot of Epcot. Just the band staff and the concert band students, the concert symphonic varsity band students. We'll go to the back lots. Parents, color guard folks, managers. We may leave you guys at the hotel for a little bit or go ahead and take you to Downtown Disney. We're going to go backstage. They're going to have an area that's going to walk in. It's going to be kind of similar to a band room with chairs, stands, percussion equipment set up. They're going to have a clinician. Matter of fact, he's the Barry sax player for the saxophone quartet that you see on Main Street. And he is going to take us to do some sight reading through some Disney music. They're going to have a 3-ring binder, and he'll say, turn to number 96, let's read. And what they do is they do a lot of reading, and they talk to them about what a studio musician goes through. As far as when a studio musician, they're going to do a soundtrack for a new Disney movie, they may come in, they may have an hour to rehearse the entire soundtrack. And when they say go, studio time is precious, they got to go. And so they talk to them and get them in the mindset of what a studio musician, professional musician is. And help them to sort of understand that. After about an hour, hour and a half of clinicking with them and reading different pieces of music, they'll give them a short break. And then what they did last time is we came back and They had us play through a medley. We had about 25 minutes to work a medley, and he told them in that 25 minutes, he's going to have a little TV monitor that's going to have, we did Tarzan, kind of like a promo for Tarzan, about a 2-minute promo for the movie Tarzan. And we play the accompaniment, we play the soundtrack for it. And he watches it, we have one shot. It's not no stop, do it again, it's one take. And at the end of that, they mix the music along with the movie, and then we watch it on the big screen. We get the DVD player, and the parents will show you on the bus, on the way home, and all that kind of stuff. Great workshop, tremendous learning experience. We did that last time. That's what we're going to be doing as well. Our color guard on Saturday is going to be participating in the Winter Guard National Orlando Regional. And once they're done with their obligations that day, they're going to meet back up with us over at Epcot that day. So that's our performances. That's what we've got going. The students will bring their concert instruments. Percussion will just take sticks and mallets. Basses, we're not going to take the big upright bass. Bring your electric bass and your cord. Disney's going to provide the amp. Yes, ma'am.
Maybe I didn't hear this, but will they each get one of these?
No, it's just one for the band program.
Okay, so.
Yeah, it's copyrighted and all that. So
Okay.
I've still got one from 5 years ago, so on my desk. So, but no, not everybody will get one. No, ma'am, just the band program. Okay. But like I said, the other folks, what you'll do when we get done with that workshop that night, probably the workshop starts at 6. They say 2 to 2.5 hours, so about 8:30 or so, we'll meet the rest of the folks down at Downtown Disney for dinner that first night that we get there. And that's our performance experience that we're going to have, and I promise you the kids will love it. The last time we spent all day at the Animal Kingdom, and I remember we had to meet at like 4:30, and the kids were like, we got to do this. And they were getting on the bus, and we get off, and they're like, we got to do this. Get your instruments shut up, you know. We get inside, and they start reading, and all of a sudden they're just like, this is really cool. And when they came out, they were just in a buzz from the excitement from this workshop. Yes?
Where are they going to keep their instruments
Underneath the buses.
locked up?
Yeah, we may take them to the rooms once we get checked in the hotel and so forth after that. Okay. I'm not sure. I hadn't thought that far ahead. Last time we took the band truck, just kept them locked on the band truck. That ain't happening this year. But either they'll be either locked, if the bus is locking all in, they'll either be locked underneath one of the buses, or we'll have them take them to the room. I'm not sure. Okay, good question. I hadn't thought about that. Band bank. I noticed on your sheet it talks about band bank. For new parents, what this is a. Hold on, missing something. Oh. Well, okay. Sorry, luggage, what to wear, weather conditions. Guys, of course, right now, where's that name on my thing here? Thank you. Guys, I came off of like 2 back-to-back symphonic band rehearsals and got off the podium at 6:05, so if I'm a little scattered. On the performance, what I am going to ask them to do, when we leave on Wednesday, I want all students in their black halftime show band shirt. So when we're at the mall that day, we can be identified. And then when we're at the workshop that night, we look the same. They're going to take a lot of photos, and they're going to put those on the DVD and all that kind of stuff. So even Guard will as well. Black band shirts the first day, that Wednesday. That's the halftime show shirt. Got the little logo right here. What was our halftime show? Oh yeah, the ticket. Okay, the concert ticket on the back. Okay, you need some. We still got those for sale. But first day, let's wear those. What to wear? Weather conditions. If you notice right here, guys, we don't quite know exactly what the weather's going to be. We're still 15 days out. And Weather Channel, weather.com, they only do 10 days. I can tell you that next week, what they're talking about is that in the mid-80s for the highs, lower 60s. I got a feeling it'll be very similar to next week when we go. But we'll check the weather next week with that. But I see right here, let's talk about swimsuits. Now, one of the worst things we do, okay, is we take them off to a pool. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you, you're going to see some sights, and some of them ain't pretty, okay? There'll be European people there, and I don't know how those men get those things on, okay? But from Milton High School's perspective, listen to me. Listen to me. This is extremely important, okay? I've got a policy anytime we swim, okay? It says this: if it jiggles, cover it up. I want you to think about that, okay? If it jiggles, cover it up. I jiggle right here. You're not going to see Mr. Weaver jiggling, okay? You follow me? If it jiggles, cover it up. That means when we're going from the hotel to Blizzard Beach, you need a cover up, okay? Ladies, I don't want you getting on the bus in a bikini, okay? Same thing, guys, I don't want you getting on the bus with just your swim trunks on and no shirt. Cover up when you get there, okay? be conservative in what you wear. Okay, that's how rumors get started and all that kind of, you know, and bad reputations and all that. You follow me on that? Don't need nothing. You guys start wearing skimpy stuff, I will bring out my thong in a heartbeat. Okay? So, just kidding. Okay, so that is not a good thing. All right, okay, help us out with that. Parents, if you'll help us out with that as well. That has not been an issue with our group. Let's make sure that it isn't. As far as luggage, what to bring, you will notice real quick if you want to flip over to the second page. I had gotten off from myself here, and I don't know what happened to that information. I put it on there, I thought. But it's not there anymore. Is it on your page?
On the third page.
Oh, I'm on that. Okay. Let me say this, luggage, what to bring, real quick. Guys, please limit your luggage down to maybe one big suitcase and accessory bag. We don't need you to bring your bedroom. Ladies, you're the worst. I'm just going to admit it. Did mom and dad show up? Dad had to bring the pickup because you got 3 big monster bags. Okay? 5 days. Guys, we're going to be in theme parks, so you need to wear cooler clothing. Okay? You don't need to be wearing, you know, dressy type clothes. You're not going to need that stuff. You're going to need like school clothes or shorts and t-shirts and clothes for sightseeing at Disney World. Okay? Or clothes for Blizzard Beach, Typhoon Lagoon. You notice I put it right here. You're going to need your meal, your spending money. Meal and spending money. The bus trip extras. Snacks and drinks for the bus and room. Your concert instruments. Casual clothes for 6 days. Just a little checklist. Use it as you want to. I have a lot of folks say, Mr. Weaver, thank you for that checklist, when they come up the next day because they can sit and check off and go, oh yeah, I did get underwear. Oh no, I forgot underwear. Okay? Personal hygiene supplies, all that stuff to make you look good and smell good. Okay? Beach towel. They don't provide beach towels at Typhoon Lagoon and Blizzard Beach, so you may want to bring 1 or 2 with you. Okay? To hold your chair that day, to dry off when you get changed and so forth. A beach bag or some type of bag to take your change of clothes and the stuff you're going to need in the water park. Don't have to, but I'm recommending it. You want to bring your shorts and your shirt and your underwear and stuff, you know, I mean, that's up to you. Okay, it's kind of country bumpkin. But a beach bag, plastic bag. Remember this, especially on the way home, we're going to leave Typhoon Lagoon and come straight home. You're probably going to want at least a, you know, Winn-Dixie bag or something to put your wet swimsuit in. Okay? You're not going to want to throw it in with the other stuff and get it all wet and nasty. So just something to think about. Sunglasses, hats, sunscreen, your cell phone. Most of us all have cell phones nowadays. If not, you need a plan for calling home. Are you going to call mom and dad collect? Are you going to have a calling card? Okay? But some kind of plan. You know, it never fails. We get off somewhere and about the 4th day of the trip, I have a parent call and go, is my baby doing okay? All right? I hadn't heard a word from them. Yeah, man, they're screaming and running all over the place. And so students, y'all come up with a plan. Make sure you check in with mom and dad. That's the least you can do. They're paying for you to go on the trip. Okay? And then just simply a ready to have fun attitude. Guys, we're going to have a blast on this trip. I promise you. Okay? You're going to be tired. My philosophy is get them up early, run them till they're tired real late, put them back at the hotel so they can sleep for a few hours, and so forth. Also, make sure you got comfortable walking shoes. Nothing worse, okay, than getting blisters on. Matter of fact, some of you guys saw me on in a cast back during marching season. That was from last year's band trip. I didn't have good shoes. Well, they were new. They weren't good. Okay. Oh, yeah, that's what you meant. Yeah, and same thing at the theme parks, Blizzard Beach. Those some of us have sensitive feet. Okay, and sometimes, yeah. So what I would recommend for the water parks to go to Walmart, like $5 a pair. Get you some water shoes. You'll find that comes in real handy when you're running around the park. Okay, so recommend that as well. Some other things you may want to think about packing. Some of the, what's that powder called when you get chafed?
Gold Bond.
Gold Bond, some of that kind of stuff. Some of us have problems with that. And you can always tell who they are because at the end of the day they're walking like this. Okay, so things to think about. Okay, make your trip more comfortable. Yes, ma'am.
The luggage this year, are we bringing it like back and forth from us ourselves? Because last year our whole room stuff left at the hotel. Are we like toting it ourselves?
No, that was New York City, my dear.
But are we like?
They don't do anything normal in New York City. So no, there's a parking lot. Okay. In New York City, we were on the main, on Broadway, and they're like, grab your luggage, go! Leaving it out there and so forth. So, no, this is typical. This is normal. Good question, though. Moving on.
Ray,
Yes.
He has suggestions, some Ziploc bags to
Put their cell phones in because some of the rides at just the regular parks
The log
have
flumes
water.
and stuff, yeah. So you may want to think about that, small Ziploc bags, especially if you're going to do like the log flume on, what is that, Splash Mountain, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, for your
Okay?
cell phones.
So for your cell phones, okay? Yes. Yeah, remember if you bring backpacks in, that those will be searched as well, okay? Moving on, band bank. Band bank is something that we offer every year on the band trip. It is not required, but new parents, to kind of explain to you what it is if you want your student not to lose, to deposit their money into our band bank, Ms. Foster, our school bookkeeper, where you are right there, okay? Ms. Foster holds on to that money. We secure it on the bus. We secure it at the hotel. Every morning at breakfast, the student will open up the band bank. The way it works, tonight, right up here on the table, we've got envelopes that are grouped by fives, okay? What you do is when the band bank opens, which will be the Tuesday night before we leave, because we don't want to be up here at 5 a.m. trying to get all this stuff done. So we're going to open up that Tuesday night before we leave. What you do, pick out some envelopes tonight. You want your child to have $30 a day, $25 a day. You write their name on the envelope. They already say Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you just write their name on the envelope, right? Ms. Foster, right, Ms. Weaver? Okay. You turn those in. She'll check it in. She'll say, okay, Davy gave us 5 envelopes, and she'll write that on the list. We'll hold on to it every morning at breakfast. We'll have about an hour, hour and a half window where the band bank is open. Those students come to Ms. Foster in the restaurant. They say, hey, I'm Davy, Johnson. And she says, okay, Davy, I have your envelope here for Thursday. She hands them the envelope. Whatever amount of money you put in that envelope, that's what they get. You with me? What tends to happen? I've seen it. When I was in the high school band, we went watching New York City. 2 days left on the trip, and I had spent all my money. And so I remember Mr. Bell had to loan me money, and my mom and dad were furious when I got home. Okay? Because I eat a lot. But band bank is optional. It is not a required type thing. We will have the band bank open up here that Tuesday night before we leave between 6 and 7:30. Again, you can pick up envelopes tonight. Any comments on that, ladies? Yes.
Bring it on Tuesday, like with the money.
Bring it on Tuesday night. Yeah, and guys, a lot of times on the trips, we'll open all this stuff over here. We're going to need to do it Tuesday night. It's too early Wednesday morning. We're going to be trying to hurry up, get on the buses, and get out of here. So we'll open up Tuesday night, yes. They can bring that, sure. I don't know if all the carts and stuff in Disney take those, so that would be the only limitations. I mean, most of the big shops, the restaurants will. Okay? Medications. We will provide the over-the-counter medications to the students. Again, Dr. Mayu's going as well. One of the beauties of him going with us every year is he brings some other medications that we may need that aren't over-the-counter. Okay? But students are not to have medication on them at any time. What we'll do that Tuesday night is check. You need to check that medication in. And then between Ms. Byers and Dr. Mayu and her helpers, they will distribute that medication as it needs to be distributed. One of the things that will get them in trouble big time, you can imagine a student brings along Tylenol or Advil or something. The other student goes, I got a headache. And they go, I got some Advil. And they take it and have some kind of reaction, not knowing they can't take Advil. Okay? So we have to check all that stuff in. We have forms we have to fill out. We check medical forms against what, and all that kind of stuff. Spires.
I do have medical forms here tonight if you want to take it home and refill it out and bring it back that night.
Oh, you're talking about the dispersion ones? So if you know if your child takes prescription meds, if you want to go ahead and see her and get one of those tonight, you can have it filled out already before you ever get here. We have to count, make sure everything's accounted for, and then we check it back out to you. Students aren't supposed to have any medication on them, yes.
If they have asthma inhalers, if they're allowed.
Whatever's
to carry
allowed at school, yes ma'am. If they've got the stuff at school, then by all means, yes.
If it's over the counter, we still need to fill out a form.
Well, we usually provide all that. You need to see Ms. Byers if it's something that they have
Like
to
if
take.
there's
regularly.
Benadryl or something in case he has allergic reaction.
Yeah, we have all that stuff, yeah. We have a doctor with us. We keep all that in the band kit. Medication check-in will be Tuesday night, March the 19th, again from 6 to 7:30. Ms. Byers, anything else you need to say about that?
And I have a couple parents that need volunteer forms that don't see me tonight, just so they can do it too.
Okay. If you will, look at your itinerary real briefly. I've already kind of spoke through most of this, just to kind of give you a rundown that's on the back of what we're going to be doing. You can see on Wednesday, we're going to meet load at 6 a.m. We got about 432 miles to go from Hilton High School Banner into our hotel. And we will stop, like I told you, for bathroom stop on the way down. Then we'll stop at the Oaks Mall in Gainesville, about 324 miles from here. Students, again, are to stay in the mall area. Do not go out. Do not cross streets. and then we don't have trouble with that, but stay in the mall area. Should be getting to the hotel about 3 o'clock. We'll check in at the hotel. Hopefully all the rooms will be ready. We will freshen up. And then the group that's going to Disney Workshop will leave out about 5:15. Okay? So for your instrumental workshop at 6, the others at some point, we'll determine that. The other chaperones, the staff will go with the kids to the workshop because they're very limited because of space, who gets to go in. The others will haul you on down to downtown Disney. We'll meet up at 8:30. We'll get back to the hotel about 11 o'clock. The next morning, you can see the breakfast buffet. We'll have it from 7 to about 8:15. They might get up a little earlier and eat if they really want to. We will leave for the Animal Kingdom on Thursday. We'll be at the Animal Kingdom for about 6 hours. Of the Disney parks, that's the smallest one. Okay? One major ride, then you got all the different animal things and A Bug's Life and some of that stuff. But we're going to split that day. We'll do Animal Kingdom that morning, and then at 3 o'clock we'll depart for Hollywood Studios. We'll finish up at Hollywood Studios from about 3:30 to about 9, and we will see the show at Hollywood Studios that night. When the show ends, then we will head back to the hotel. Friday is sort of our relaxed day. Parents, I know you're looking at this going, oh my gosh, they get at 11 and they're back up at 7. Okay? I try to put the water parks in to kind of give us a chill out day. So you can find your recliner somewhere and kind of kick back and chill under a tree. Or you can lay in the lazy river. That's where I like to sleep. Blizzard Beach that day. About 4 o'clock, we'll change clothes, meet back up. We will head to Disney Quest. Disney Quest is a 5-story state-of-the-art game room. Okay? Never been. It's one of the coolest game rooms, virtual reality, all kinds of unique games and so forth. Even old school, stand-up games, Galaga and all that kind of stuff. And then there's some you get in, such as Pirates of the Caribbean, that's in 3D, and you're on board of a ship, and you got screens all around you. You're wearing 3D glasses, and 2 or 3 folks are pulling the cannons, and the other person's steering the ship with all the animation moves, and they're firing cannonballs at you. You've got Aladdin's Magic Carpet Ride, which is the virtual reality thing, but it's all free. You walk in there, all the games are free. I mean, we're paid as part of the ticket. Okay, there is a big concession stand there and so forth. But we will finish up, as you can see, Friday, March the 22nd, downtown Disney. They will do Disney Quest. They can also need to grab dinner. Again, there's a little cafeteria area, I think, on the 4th floor of Disney Quest, or 5th floor. And I looked at the meal voucher stuff the other day. That cafeteria that's inside Disney Quest is a meal voucher. Okay, so they can eat there if they want to. Saturday is a long day. We'll get up, we'll go to Epcot, 10 to 9. Again, they can go out the back gate. We'll spend all day, then we'll finish with eliminations that evening. When that nighttime show is over, we will head back to the hotel. Sunday, we get up, eat breakfast, we go to the Magic Kingdom. Now, I know you're sitting there going, oh my gosh, because I kind of went, oh my gosh, 14 hours at the Magic Kingdom? Oh, kill me now. Okay? As we go on the trip, if I see we need to sleep in, we'll sleep in. If they're getting grumpy, I may say, we're leaving at 11 today, guys. Okay? This is a tentative itinerary, so to speak. You follow me on that? I kind of gauge it and judge it as I see it. Okay? So I don't need nobody coming up and go, you said we're going to be in the Magic Kingdom at 9 o'clock. Isn't fair? Okay? So I got enough years of experience of seeing this. I can tell when they start wearing down. When you're walking through the streets of our, down the path of a theme park, and they're all laid up against a wall somewhere sleeping, and you probably say, okay, we need to sleep in more. Okay, but we'll spend most of our day Saturday at Epcot, Sunday at Magic Kingdom. Monday we will get up, we will check out of the hotel, we will head to Typhoon Lagoon, visit there for about 6.5 hours. They will change clothes, get on the buses. We will come straight back to Milton High School. We did that the last time, and it worked out great. We will stop at CC's Pizza. We'll take a bathroom stop around Tallahassee. Any questions about the itinerary? Fun-filled, 4 parks, 2 water parks, and Disney Quest. Okay? Moving on. I'm almost done here, I promise. General conduct. Again, trip has been approved by the Santa Rosa County School District. Okay? Guys, and this band does such a great job of this, but I always want to say it. Always be a positive representative, and parents, of our band program. Okay? Always. I love nothing more than to hear positive reviews when we go places. Hotels. Some of you guys may remember the Washington, D.C. trip last year at the Staybridge Suites when we went into stealth mode. Because we got in 11:30. The hotel kept calling, you guys okay? And I knew what it was. Yeah, we're out seeing the monuments, and it's 11. And where's our group at? They're going to come in loud. Okay? But I remember them ranting and raving. Wow. our folks didn't even hear you come in because the kids were just like tiptoeing down the hallways at night. Be a positive representative wherever we go. Leading restaurants, and I love for waitresses to come up, or managers to come up and go, man, that's one of the best groups of high schoolers we've ever hosted.
Did
Okay?
you just get a phone call from that manager asking when we're coming back?
Yeah, I did. So the guy in Washington loved us. All school rules apply. If you'll notice on the sheet here real quick, I'm just going to run those down. No alcohol, no tobacco. All medications must be checked in. You cannot have medications on you unless it's an inhaler or an EpiPen, and it's something you can bring to school. You're never to go into hotel rooms with members of the opposite sex for any reason, boys and girls. Don't leave your room once curfew starts. Stay in your room until the designated time that you can leave. Don't open your door after curfew except for the band director or chaperones, and only after they've identified themselves. You need to listen carefully to and follow through all instruction directions given by the director and the chaperones. Make sure you're where you need to be when you need to be there. You want to get on my bad side again? We meet at 11 o'clock to go somewhere, at 3 o'clock, and well, I'm still on the right in the back of the park, okay? You'll find yourself with a guided escort the rest of the trip. Okay, I know stuff happens and I'll work around that, but please make sure you're where you need to be when you need to be. Okay? It's that simple. You guys are good at that. Upon check-in, remember any damage to the hotel needs to be reported immediately to me or Mr. Schultz. We will inspect those prior to leaving. And remember, if there's damage, you pay for it as individuals. Dress codes apply. Don't try to wear anything to get away. You know, the swimsuit, I know you can't wear a swimsuit to school. That's a little bit of the exception. Okay? But for the most part, nothing with vulgar language on it and so forth. Okay? Trash and food items, make sure that they're properly disposed of. In buses and restaurants, make sure we leave places better than we found them. Participants are expected to be polite, show respect to one another and others, and exhibit patience. When we stop at CC's, we got 142. There's going to be a line outside the door. Be patient. Okay? Remember that our words and actions should always reflect the high-quality band program. We need to strive to be good representatives. As I tell the band, image is everything. When we leave on those buses, time we get back, we're representing Milton High School Band, Milton High School, our families, and the city of Milton and Santa Rosa County. Okay? So let's make sure that we act accordingly in what we do. And we have consequences, and we've had a few in the past. If it's harsh, okay, they're sneaking out of the room, they're going down the street, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I'll get up with mom and dad and we'll figure out how we're going to get them home to you. Okay, their trip is ended. And until then, they'll be under chaperone arrest. Okay? So, Mr. John, can you bring your handcuffs? No? Mr. Cliff? Okay, never mind. All right. But we do have that, guys. If we have issues with students, we have different forms of punishment. It could be we're moving you to a different bus. It could be simply chaperone arrest, which we have done before, which is where I assign them to me or Mr. Schultz or a staff member or a chaperone, and if I go to the bathroom, they stand right outside the stall. If I want to eat Chinese for lunch, they eat Chinese with me for lunch. And they are accompanied the rest of the trip. And that's a drag for us and for them, okay? So don't do anything major. Get yourself in trouble. I say that because I have to. Stay with that tradition. Leave a good impression. Last couple of things. Disney apps. If you got smartphones, man, there are all kinds of free Disney apps where you can check wait times, all that. I've had about 3 or 4 on my phone back when we went in December, okay? So if you got a smartphone, you load those things up. They're very helpful, okay? Final payments for the trip must be made by next Wednesday, March 13th, 1 week from tomorrow. Ms. Weaver has an accurate amount as of about noon today of what's been put in, along with mattress fundraiser has been credited as well, which, by the way, I know that sounded silly. What an incredible fundraiser. We made $3,650. No problem. Okay. So, we're putting out signs and opening the cafeteria, okay? So, she's got that. Ms. Hendrickson as well, where are you? She's in the back in the green. If you need to pay with credit card, she's brought the MHS BPA, Band Parent Association, credit card cube thing. So you can pay with credit card. She'll turn around and write a check to the band for that. Miss Tina, anything you have?
I just need to see Teresa Hart, Melinda Morrison, and Don Welch. I don't have on this one.
Okay, if you'll see Miss Tina when we get done here. Guys, please remember that all band fees must be paid in full along with trip fee, okay, before we leave on this trip. So if you'll just make sure of that. If your child has extra money in their account, okay, you paid everything, they turned in that $60 for the chocolate, we will put that $60 in the band bank for them.
Well, they have to sign for it.
Well, they have to sign for it, okay? So at some point in the trip, we had to talk that through. But at some point in the trip, we will get up with them have them sign and we will give them that. If you want that to carry over into next year, you'll need to send me an email or Miss Weaver an email. I'll just simply forward it to her and we'll carry that over. But otherwise, any profits, but when we get ready to go on the trip, any extra in their account, we give them for spending money on the trip. Okay? Weather, again, we'll check that for more accurate details next week. I'll probably send out an email about that. In case of an emergency, mine and Mr. Schultz's cell phone numbers are listed right there. I may have listed, no, just ours. Okay. So, those are listed right there. Please feel free to call us. Let me just say this in advance. It's my 19th trip to the Milton High School Band. Thank you, parents. I know the sacrifices. We get ready to plan these trips every year. I ask the questions, do we really need to take one? That's why we do the intention forms, because I want to see if there's enough interest. I know times are tough economically. You know, part of our philosophy is to provide our students with opportunities that they may never have. And they may have been to Disney, but until you go with a group of your friends in the band, it's a totally different experience. And that's kind of what we're about. When I graduated Milton High School and I want to be a band director, you know, I still look back to my days in high school band and the trips of going to Washington, New York, and Orlando, and Atlanta. I'll look at those things, and those are some of the fondest memories that I have from the high school band. So thank you for your support on the trip. Be flexible. Don't sweat the small stuff. I share this story every year. Headed to San Antonio one year, little color guard girl, freshman. Matter of fact, she waited on me at a local restaurant here recently. Her boyfriend, right outside the bus, broke up with her. He wasn't in band, some jerk, you know. Well, not because, anyway. Broke up with her. She got on the bus, and I swear for 6 days she cried. Restaurants, you need to eat. Okay? You're going to find 3 more boyfriends on the band trip, so don't sweat it. It's that simple. So, don't let things that, you know, that you can't control, okay, ruin your trip. You paid good money. This is your reward for the hard work this year. Go the extra mile to leave a good impression. Be ready to have fun. Parents, if you need to know about the financial statements, we distributed those yesterday and today to your kids. So check with them, but also Miss Weaver has that list right over there. Anything I left off? Oh, we do have an administrator that's going, Mr. West, our assistant principal. I have tried for years to get an administrator to go on the band trip with us. And actually, they're going to be with us down there, riding down with us, because they're already going to be down that way for spring break. But Mr. West and his family will be with us on the trip this year, too. Okay, Ms. Thorpe couldn't make it, Mr. West can be here. So, okay, are there any questions? Yes? They will work that out. Miss Tina will work that out with them. So yeah, great question. She said, what if you're at the park, let's say at 4 o'clock, they're supposed to take your medication. She will work that out with them individually. When you fill out those forms, she'll come up with a schedule and they'll work out where to meet. Usually Dr. Mayu will find somewhere kind of right in the center of the park, and he takes all his medical journals, and he just sits there. So. Yeah, call one of our cell phones. Yes, ma'am. They can contact us. She asked if they need to have a headache or something. Actually, I think they can go to first aid.
They can go to first aid, our first aid.
Because they have our medical forms and our medical kit, and they can tell them.
We do is a couple parents will rotate, check it every hour.
Right. Any other questions?
With the band bank, if we have money left over from after the day, do we put it back in the band bank and they hold on to it until the end?
No, it's whatever you take for that day, you can hold on to.
Okay.
That would because when we get to the hotel at night, we'll have like 15, 20 minutes. We got to be in the rooms.
All right.
And you know, that would be a lot for the ladies. So yeah, just kind of plan accordingly. Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Nighttime medication at the hotel, would that be?
The nighttime medication? Yes, ma'am. That is and it may be 30 minutes after a room check, because usually they have a list.
I'm sure.
And so they go room to room. Dr. Mayu, Miss Tina, them, they go room to room distributing medication. Okay. Any others? Guys, if you have any questions now, tonight, come up and see me. Email me is the best way to get up with me during the day. It may take me a day or two, especially this week. Okay, and I am going to be gone Saturday night through next Thursday morning. But I will try to check emails. Email Mr. Schultz, and we'll try to answer those for you. Okay?
I do have one other question for Tina. Does she want their medication in a Ziploc bag with their name on it, divided into morning and night?
Ziploc. You want their medication divided, or does it have to be in original containers?
Personally, it would be easier if it was in the original bottles.
Do you want the original, maybe I should have said that, do you want the original bottles in a Ziploc bag?
Oh, grouped together?
I'll have
PM?
Ziploc bags here tonight that night, so if you want to go ahead and put it in a Ziploc bag and put their name, and then this is AM, this is PM,
That would be awesome. Yeah, that would be awesome. Good question. Any others? Guys, thank you. Have a great evening. Don't forget envelopes. Can make envelopes? Oh, hold up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that was next week.
No, you.
5 minutes.
Okay. Guys, give us just a minute.
Ow, you butthole.
I'm not going to be like, again, if it jiggles, that's my basic. I don't do that really.
Alright, everybody, give me about 5 minutes of your time. I won't keep you long, please. Quiet, please. I am the president of the Band Parent Association. I'm Mark Lashare, and we've got a lot of events coming up. One mainly is the fair. If you have not signed up, please go on Charms and sign up. We have got meat sticking next week. We got scratch ankle next week. Then we got the fair. We got, what else, Lynn?
Bands on Wi-Fi.
Bands on Blackwater coming up every Friday night in May and June.
And band making.
And the band making coming up. So we got a lot of events happening. We need the money to pay for things, so please, there's only a few of us that's doing it. I like to see new people in before we can get them trained, before we can step back and let y'all have it. Please, we're getting tired. So please, y'all, please go on Charms and sign up. And we have a lot going on right now. If you have any questions, call me. Mr. Weaver knows my number. It's on the webpage, I think. If not, I'll get it on there. But go on Charms, email me. It's there.
Remind them of the earnings for the kids too.
Yeah, we do. The incentive plan is still in effect. You can still owe band fees or trip fees or whatever. You got events coming up before the trip. Be more than glad to help out. But you got to work. You have to work. This is not an easy job. We raise a lot of money. That's why you see a new band truck sitting out there. Now we got to buy an engine for another one. Thanks to me. It was time to go. But yeah, that's $4,000 that we got to come up with. So and yeah, we need these events to happen, but we can't. A few of us can't do this. It takes all of us working together to do this. So please go on Charms and sign up. If you don't know how, get with Mr. Weaver or Glenn or Kelly, and they can show you how. Okay? Thank y'all for coming.
That's where my mom was. My mom's shopping.